Welcome back to Midwest Linux Gaming. I'm your host, as usual, as always, Stompin' Llama. God, it's been forever since we've done Final Fantasy XI, and I'm gonna break any illusions, folks. It is the last time I logged on to Final Fantasy XI was exactly last time we streamed. I've been on 14 all the time, every week, multiple times a week, in fact. Partly because 7.5 is coming up, I think it's next Tuesday. Yeah, the 28th. So a week from now, we should theoretically be playing 7.5 in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm thinking hopefully by then we'll have Final Fantasy... Well, 11 won't be out of the way, obviously, because there's all going to be Rhapsodies to do. But we should hopefully have Seekers wrapped up, hopefully by the end of Saturday. Fingers crossed. It's just been... It's either the throat, or I've had things that needed to be literally done around the house on a Saturday that have no other time to be done during the week or weekend. It's just, it has been... Life has just been conspiring against Final Fantasy XI predominantly, but just in general, the streaming schedule. Which, it happens. You know, that happens. Weekends are absolutely a terrible time because of the things you have to get done. Especially middle of the day streaming. Which makes these midnight streams actually quite useful. Sorry we didn't get one done Monday. Sunday I was out for most of Sunday. Like, either out and about or physically unconscious. And it's just, I had things I had to get done, and then I just fell asleep. And so, I mean, it wasn't going to be planned. It wasn't on the schedule. You've seen the schedule. I had not planned for it to be on the schedule. I also planned on getting the schedule up, on time, but that obviously didn't happen. I think this is the latest I've ever gotten a schedule up. Literally, like, midweek. But it's wild, let me tell you. I'll get the rest of the waiting rooms up for this week. But, yeah. Anyway. Final Fantasy XI. Let's get started. Where we last left off, we saved the world tree. I don't think it's technically Yggdrasil, but it's basically Yggdrasil. We finally saved it. We do have to eventually deal with the fact that one of the guys that got killed there was, in fact, one of the leaders of the coalitions here. Moreover, he was the money guy, and he was very good at it. Without him, they don't seem to operate well, which is highly unfortunate. I mean, highly unfortunate. I'm hoping we can get through the remainder of Chapter 4. I don't think... I mean, there's a bit of Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 15 missions long. I mean, I'm hoping we can get at least through the next in-game... Well, at least the next in-game day wait, if not the next one. Which, considering there's only... These are all listed as cutscenes with one quest just before the in-game day wait. I think we'll be fine. I mean, granted, second from the bottom on there is listed as a quest and Burning Circle, which those are going to start getting more complicated. Well, regardless, we've got to talk to Level here. Or Leville. Oh, hi, Arachnios. You're probably more at home bashing in skulls and playing politics, but have you heard the rumors about Lord Melvane? Ah, of course. What a tragedy. The shockwaves of the news shook the city harder than those recent land shivers. Of course, you've seen him in the flesh, so who am I to tell you what a hard-working, dedicated man he was? His order is positively in shambles. Out of steam from covering his duties, never mind finding a replacement, or more likely, replacements. Why? Well, Melvin could do the work of 100 men, and now they've got to divvy it up. What do you mean, divvy it up? Let's just use an example of what strikes close to home. Let's say Master Leigh, who was able to do more than the rest of the coalition, ends up sending you and me to do her dirty work. Even thinking about makes my skin crawl. Of course, that would prove any order. But to think what this would happen right when colonization's hitting its stride. Especially when the word is you've all found a way deeper into Razgazillion or whatever. And lately, ground's been shaking more and more than just metaphorically. Speaking of, I think that might be the biggest land shiver yet. I tell ya, this ain't natural. You and the princess are all smiles when you return from the continent, so I figured all was right with the world. But things are never that simple, are they? Now, with the whole Melvin debacle, the leaders of the other 11 orders are at each other's throats like raptors in the Water Garden Coliseum. I can only imagine the mopey look on that princess's angelic face. Arachnios, if anyone knows how to rouse her spirits, bet it's you. Go to Arcelia, for both our sakes. Yeah, he, as we saw, quite literally, Melvin was holding the finances together by himself. And that's a problem. Especially since he decided to betray not only us, but Mortimer, Arcelia, basically all of Adeline. Well, we hit the cutscene trigger right away. Well, B, look who's come to the castle. Who are you again? Gotcha. Of course I remember you, Arachnios. But I'm not gonna pull your leg out of its socket to this go. No, there's something I want to talk to you about. Come on, let's go somewhere quiet. The princess has been moping about lately. If anyone knows what happened to her, I figured it'd be you. I tried asking Cynthia, but she never gives me a straight answer. And given the way she nods off while on duty, well, you're just a better person to ask. Sweet mercy, say something! I'm not letting you budge until you spill the beans. Okay, the world tree almost died. Melvin betrayed everybody, and he's dead. The Peacekeepers Coalition has arrived at the only reasonable conclusion. The wounds on his body are signs of a struggle. Oh, beyond doubt. What concerns me more is his motive for escaping unfettered into such a desolate wasteland. Listen to the two of you. Dullards to the fault. Dullards to the fault. Stay your tongue, Leigh. Oh, please. There's nothing to be gained wringing your hands over the past. Riddle me this. The head of one of our 12 esteemed orders shirks his duties and goes gallivanting in the forest, and he ends up sleeping with the fishes. He made a laughingstock out of all of us. You do not think... He was a fool. He grew complacent, thinking Mr. Ulbuka safer and forgetting what it means to fear the forest. When Ignis ordered the colonization to commence, we all knew there would be prices to be paid. Let there be no doubt, Melvin dug his own grave. So stop shedding tears for that moron, or else we won't be able to move forward. These words may be verbal briars, but I find myself in total agreement, Taru. And Melvin supported colonization more than any of us, so the rumors going around town don't surprise me in the least. Rumors? What rumors? That Melvin's dance was not a coincidence, but a rather carefully orchestrated plot, Haru, by those who oppose our explorations on the continent.
How dare you! You're waltzing after contributing nothing for months, and have the gall to...
Stop your whining, Gatsig. I didn't say I'm a believer, just that the hushed words and furtive glances are being exchanged in dark taverns and dark alleys. Stop hemming and hawing, Margaret. If you have one thing to say, then out with it. Rumors are a vicious thing, Claru Macharu. Forgive me for thinking out loud, but couldn't it also be that a radical faction of colonization supporters assassinated Melvin to cast aspirations on those opposed? Unthinkable winkable! Explain yourself! Melvin exerted a disproportionate amount of influence over those in his camp. None of us can deny it. He spent so much time and effort sending swords into the wild. Is it so unthinkable that one found his way into his back? On whose side are you, Margaret? We've always counted on the Order of Haverton's support. This is not about political posturing. I'm simply ensuring that we're properly diligent in considering all perspectives.
You disgust me. You're not considering all perspectives, just stirring the pot. This nation's divided enough without you deepening the rift.
I've done nothing more than provide an alternate hypothesis. The only one who truly knows what happened is the man himself, and without further evidence we cannot but speculate. I'm sure we all value your opinion.
Get back to your books and leave the discussion to those more qualified.
Yeah. We've had all our ducks in a row, and something like this has to happen. Enough of this senseless bickering. We all know why we're here today, and I bid us get started. You sure spin a vivid yarn, Agnes. I felt like I was right there in the action myself. But wait, that's not what matters here. No wonder the princess is in so in the dumps, and Cynthia too, poor thing. Dozing off of the posters from all the stress. There's one thing that can cheer him up. It's gotta be tomatoes. By now, you've got to be familiar with the box of Adeline tomatoes grown down at Rala waterways, red as the setting sun, and plump and juicy to boot. And who do you think brought the tomato plants back from Eastern Ulbuka?
The intrepid Arciela.
Come on. You couldn't let a gal have just one? You're right, of course. We found several sprouts while out exploring, and that's why we're able to grow them here today. And what better way to turn her frown upside down than remind her of the good she does for the city? So, shove off to the Civic Arboretum and procure me some veggies. You don't know how much time you'd be saving. You just picture the look of gratitude on the princess's face.
Of course. It's not that the castle needs them for stocking the pantry or anything. No, most certainly not. Waypoint 6. And then we get to speak to Shalvava. This is like the third time we've had to fetch tomatoes. I'm not kidding. This is like the third time we've had to do this. Every time Arcelia gets down to the dumps, go fetch some tomatoes. Yes, ma'am. I mean, granted, the tomatoes do bring a smile to her face. So, that is true. If I'm remembering correctly, they're the Taru. Right, kind of in the middle. There they are. Shalvava.
Well, my goodness. It's been quite a while since I've last seen you down here, Arachnios. You're looking for some tomatoes? Funny that. Someone from the castle asked for a shipment Taru, and when I replied that we had our hands full with the harvest, they said they sent someone. Is that someone you?
No?
No. But one of the maids sent you? She pulled a fast Taru one. Well, who takes him off my hand is no concern to me as long as I reach the castle safely. Just let me go. What's this then? My legs. Why'd I keistered down here without an escort or anything? It must be because Graneth has her eyes on me. Phew. Got my wind back in my sails. Sorry to keep you waiting. It's me, Milla from Castle Edelin. Of course you are. So what brings you down to the Arboretum? Did your superiors find out you forced this pioneer to do your dirty work? Well, half right. I'm sorry, Arachnios. I didn't mean any harm by it. And lest by you mean by right half retardo? Well, yes, Arcelia personally told me to come down here and tell Arachnios that there's something she'd like to share with him. And there you have it. Oh, the tomatoes. Fear not, the sensational Fremella will take it upon herself to see that they arrive safely at the castle. Wasn't that your job to begin with? Yeah. So, tut, Arachnios, the princess is waiting for you. I'd give anything for the princess to trust me like she does Arachnios and Graneth. But sitting here moping and muttering doesn't do anyone any favors. You see, I'll become the best maidservant Adeline has ever seen. If that's truly what you desire, wire, then the first step is to not shove your work onto others. You've a sharp tongue, Shavalva. Your words are like knives. But
Maybe it was my fault after all.
Stop dwelling on what has happened and learn one from it. You're a good kid, Familla. Here. We all just want the city to thrive and prosper. You have your own role to play, and as do I and every other man and woman this side of the Jordis yet.
You're right. Of course.
And take some pride in your work.
Got it.
And back we go. Ooh, an extended cutscene. This one's gonna be several minutes of voice acting. Back to Eastern Adlin, the castle gates. I gotta wait for the NPC to load in. They were plow. They were plow.
Arachnius, you came. Thank goodness Familla ever reached you in time. That strong land shiver caused some grave damage to various sections of the Rala waterways, and the Order of Rene is in utter disarray. They claim the currents have shifted. This cannot bode well. I wish I knew more, but I only learned the fundamentals of geomancy from my tutors. Someone more well-versed from the Order of Rene will be visiting the castle shortly. I want you to be there with me.
The Order of Rene?
Surely you're aware of the geometric properties here in Nobuka. The Order's head Minister of Education, Iki Askamot, will come proffer her opinion. I felt a duty to accompany Iki to Lithalia in the light of the events that transpired in Camir Drifts. Some things are easier to understand in person. Since that time, Iki has approached me with increasing frequency. She's always been a bit, I hesitate to say standoffish, because that implies a lack of concern, but she is a woman of few words. That makes approaching her a bit of a task, and one that I shied away from until recently. A failing of mine as one of the prominent faces of Adeline. But ever since we met, I've learned so much about myself, about the world. We got no time for musings. Come, counsel awaits.
Oh, this one.
This meeting had better get underway soon. I don't trust my good-for-nothing subordinates to even sweep the floors, let alone run things in my absence.
Ole, ever the sourpuss. Iki never would have called us here if she didn't have something important to say. And it may provide some juicy tidbits to help you and yours. Also, everyone's all dressed up in their fancy clothes, because this is an official meeting unlike everything else we've had until now.
One can only hope.
Iki, please. We're all interested in hearing your observations.
I'm afraid the situation is grave. An area of the waterways has collapsed. The Untitled sent my shelves tumbling to the ground, so I'm not surprised the dilapidated cesspool would cave in. We'll just have to repair it. What's the problem? Just draw up a quick budget to and I'll hire some workers and get patched up in no time. All things in this world are in flux. What once had form will return to dust. This is an immutable law of nature. We mustn't lay blame on things that break. It's the way of things. Huh? You're flapping your gums, but all I hear is nonsense. Come on, Icky. Stop pretending to be all cryptic and mysterious and say what you mean. You're the head of an order warder, not a babbling doomsayer. I'm sorry. I'm not even that mad. I just want you to be more clear. Be direct and to the point, Ardu. We're all listening. Go on. Damn you, woman. Out with it! Shush! Get away from... Stop...
Icky, are you trying to say that the Urgisade has been shattered?
The Urgisade? Hildebert, I'm not familiar with such a name.
Ah, forgive me, Arcelia, for keeping its existence a secret from you. Icky, if I may. Arcelia, you surely remember the plot to assassinate Ignis that your pioneer companion managed to foil?
Of course.
When I saw that Ignis had been transformed into that curious form, I began to doubt that the catalyst was the curse of the Founder King after all. I consider myself a lettered man, and happen to know a great deal about the events that transpired during the Great Expedition. August appeared before the king and the heads of each order in their dreams, beseeching them to cease making inroads into Ubuka. This was but one of several incidents that spurred them all to turn tail and seal themselves within the city walls. Not content with merely heeding the Founder King's warning, Edlin's ruler created a new grave in honor of August's memory deep within Rala waterways. I trust that all present are familiar with this part of the story. Arachnos, you're not of your land. Do I need to go over the details once more? And no need. Yet, honoring August's memories is but half the truth. Arciella, you're not head of the house, and hence have not been apprised of the full story. Yet, I would be remiss to hide information from you, as the future stands poised in the balance. Allow me to shed some light on the story and reveal to you the truth. Arachnios, you should be privy to this as well. I'm nothing if not pragmatic. I cannot vouch for your future here should my words ever leave this hall.
I would trust him with my life. Hildebert, your riddle rivals those of Icky. What's this half-truth of which you speak?
The shrine dedicated to August is more than just a memorial. It's a giant geomagnetic seal. Geomagnetic seal.
A seal? Containing the spirit of August himself?
I am not versed in the particulars, but whether it be his spirit or his will, the fact remains that the Founder King held great sway over the city long after his death. It loomed over the populace, threatening with divine judgment should they not heed his warnings. As the great expedition progressed, pioneers reported seeing his form appearing before them. Though this phenomenon was originally denounced as hallucinations born from overwork, it was not long before an epidemic broke out among the populace. Ill fortune also befell the heads of the 12 orders, and the citizenry was paralyzed with fear of something they could feel, but not touch. The king of the age, vexed nearly hysterical, turned the city itself into a barrier to ward off evil spirits.
But how was such a thing even possible?
He constructed waterways deep within the city. The citizenry was informed of naught, but that they were to make life in Edelin self-sustaining. That was merely a front. The waterways themselves are veins of a large, magical apparatus flooded with geomantic energies. And, like most veins, the blood flows back to the heart. The grave of the Founder King.
This must be the seal Mortimer was referring to back in the Khmer Drifts.
The most storied geomancer of the time oversaw the project from commencement to completion, and even the slightest bends and most minuscule differences in elevation were carefully planned out to draw geomantic wards around the city. And the very water itself, obstinately for the purpose of sustenance and irrigation, is in fact a physical means to carry forth spiritual energies. The directionality, fixed for centuries, is of utmost import to the type of magic the wards compart. For years, they've served to divert harm from the city to the outside world.
But why? August was the man who saw a great nation rise. Why would they fear one we owe so much to?
Even though he may have brought great good upon our city, there's one undeniable fact. The only thing man fears more than that which he does not know is that which he only knows in part. Yet, their caution appears to have been well placed. Up until now, no other calamity had befallen our land, and we have been content to live in peace for several centuries.
And now, it is broken. Who cares? If it broke woke, then we can fix it. I don't see any problem. A lot of you sit here chit-chattering and wringing of your hands when there's progress to be made. No wonder it's taken us so long to get to where we are. What's wrong with you people? Once we find the money, it'll be a snap. Up and at 'em. Let's spend some coin, hire a bunch of those pioneers to get on it, and... Hey, not again! It's not that simple. Whatever do you mean? The inscriptions have been overwritten. Overwritten? Perhaps a visual aid will help. Here, take a look. This device my order refers to as a crux. Trained individuals can use it to read the currents of the life stream. This particular device is attuned to Rala waterways. Now, see how it's contorted? This means that the incantation has been transposed into something else. As to how exactly, that's something I can't tell without visiting the site directly. But Icky, do you think that wise, with all the beasts lurking down there?
Then your choice to call Arachnios was a prudent one. He can go places we cannot.
I wholeheartedly approve. He's proven his worth many times thus far.
And further, what we discussed in this room must not be shared with others, and hence we can only trust one from this congregation. Arachnios, your service to the city has been more than mere happenstance. Having Arciella vouch for you is proof beyond doubt.
Then we are in accord. Arachnios, we anxiously await your successful return. I'll do all I can.
Hold on, that one. That's the button.
F7. So up to number 4. So now we have to go to 4 NPC. Well, 3 locations in the waterways. The closest one that puts us close to 2 of them is apparently the F7 entrance up here in Eastern Adelan. Up over here at F7. Puts us close to 2 of 3 of them. Or so the wiki claims. Let's see, warp over here at L5. Load the map, load the map, load the map. Okay, the first one we need to go to is at N7. N7, so somewhere in here. The second one is at I6. Right here-ish. And then the other one is up over here at D8. I'm trying to remember if I grabbed... No, we're low on prisms and such and so forth, so we may have to fight our way through. Hey, how's it going? You always come over here with something interesting having gone on, so it's always hard to guess. Oh. Oh, that's going to be an interesting one to see, that's for certain. Some people are just very unusual. That's also true. As long as you get paid, what does it really matter? especially when you're dealing with a commission-based business, unless it's something that horribly violates everything you stand for, which is unlikely to happen in most cases, you really might as well just go for it. After all, being paid and compensated well will often overcome a lot of that kind of reticence. It says N7, but I think that's the NPC. Yeah, that's Sanine. That's the one we need to talk to. Oh, she's technically at N7. She's in a corner. Of course.
I wouldn't expect out of a Philistine of the construction arts to notice, but a veteran like me can detect even the slightest change in the water. There isn't shaking cause to stir.
That's true.
One of my colleagues reported out a loud crack, like a bomb going off. Yes, I imagine that puts in a bit of a pickle wickle.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
That's all we can do to even find the source. Repairing it? Bah! You're better off hope those pioneers are good for more than just traipsing through the jungle.
Yeah, 10,000 followers, that sounds pretty good. I'm now in the completely wrong direction. Because that doesn't connect back through at all. Do these not connect through? These might not connect through. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I honestly don't remember what her feet exactly looked like. I don't remember if she was even wearing any type of nail polish or not. That's honestly not something I paid much attention to at all. So I wouldn't know, to be honest. But that would, in fact, make sense, to some degree. Let's see, and we're looking for the waterway overlook at I6. Assuming we can get away from these giant, almost 4.5 foot tall spiders. And that would be right here. Of course it would. quick glance reveals that spoiled water trickling from upstream, likely caused by the effluvium from recent destruction. Now that's a word we don't use much. Effluvium. Sometimes I love it when games use many of these older terms that are perfectly accurate. It's the flow of it's the nasty flow of water. That's effluvium. Barnacle crab. At D8. Now we're in slime territory. Slime and giant spider territory. And, of course, oh, nope. Maybe the door is open? Is the door open? I think the door is open. There's normally a door there. I mean, you all saw that door was just disappear out of nowhere. That's not normal. Oh. I have seen weirder things. After all, foot fetishes are one of the more relatively well-known fetishes. You should see what happens in the Umamusume community. Especially as of, well, I wouldn't say relatively recently, as of March. There was maybe late February, early March. Oh god, he's got his entire scenario around it. I mean, that makes sense. So I was just here minding my own business, see? When all of a sudden a huge flash of light and boom! I damn near soiled myself. That area's a bit foul. I'm afraid it's be a while before things are back to normal. Boy, take a gander at this. It's part of a wooden fuse, wouldn't you say? How crazy would you have to be to try and blow up the waterways? Oh. A fuse. Someone tried to blow it up. Of course. She accidentally targeted Kazensi. That actually fits very well with the kind of humor you would expect from... If this was like an anime, if the game was like an anime, that would exactly be what happens, at least once. And that would be hilarious to most viewers. Granted, you wouldn't see the whole obsession with the toes and everything else, but it would be played for laughs, because of course it would. Like, I could just see that going and that being just a wonderful little scene. Oh yeah, it definitely fits. It definitely fits. Yeah, I could see that. Some people, I don't want to say they'd hope for more of a redemption arc, but You know, some people would prefer not to have to kill, you know, those of the opposite gender for various reasons. Especially if you found them to be interesting characters to put in a polite way. Okay, we'll put it bluntly. If you're attracted to them, it kind of does suck to have to kill them. There's no way around that. But not everyone gets a redemption arc.
Ragnius, you made it back home. With all that trekking and fighting, you must be positively exhausted. But I'm afraid we haven't much time.
Don't worry, there was no fighting actually involved. I just kind of ran.
Please, what happened? Yes, we must know. The flow of the water's changed. An explosion and a blinding flash of light. One vent yell.
And a chunk of fuse.
Is this a broken fuse? Then that huge shaking wasn't a land shiver, but... I'm afraid of this. I was afraid of this. Ciela, it's as I told you. The currents changed not of their own accord, but by the hand of another. Every ripple, every breath, all working in concert, formed a barrier that forestalled spirits of a most foul nature. A barrier to ward off evil. Exactly. It served its purpose well. Yet, Ignis' transformation to a Leafkin was not only the doing of the Founder King. He surely had help from the World Tree.
I mean, we did just save the tree, but you know this.
The Founder King's grave is at the heart of the barrier, both physically and aesthetically. A force far beyond our comprehension has held the seal together. And the grander the force is, the more than likely even the smallest deviation will sow discord. The Founder King's will has come under assault countless times, so it's no surprise eventually part of it should yield. And the calamities that have begun to befall us are the direct result of this. Yet, what piques my curiosity is what Ragnos found in the waterways. Channeling the natural flow of water is like asking a tree to bend against the wind. But were the tree to be cut down instead? The explosion has caused the entire incantation to be overwritten. The protections placed over the city have begun to fade. But if the incantation is changed, the question is, what's it been changed to? Sadly, my crux can only detect that it has changed. I surmise that the currents flowing from this world to the next, warding off various and sundry spirits from passing through the ethereal barrier separating them, have been reversed. Reversed? Which means what, exactly? That which has been warded now beckons. Its existence shielded all life from that which would wreak uncontrolled destruction. But now it's a matter of time before true terror is made manifest. In its corrupted Stygian tide, the city will sink into the underworld. I speak, of course, of the incantation itself. No longer does it keep demons out. It draws them in. The city itself will soon be under assault. How long before it succumbs, I do not know.
So it now draws in monsters?
Mayhaps my previous explanations were insufficient, but yes. It's exactly what it does. I hardly need to spell out what this means for the future of our once peaceful nation. But in the worst case, the city itself may be absorbed into another dimension. What? The other orders will simply not believe these words wholesale. But someone must inform them of the danger and lead us to conquer the evil within. Yet that task must fall to someone other than me. Asiela, you bore witness to the events that have transpired in the forest. I can think of no other, both as a person and as the bloodline of the Founder King. I suppose you're right. I'll do all I can. Iki, I ask that you share this information, this with them, the same tale that you just shared with us. Then, it's decided. We shall convene a meeting of the 12 orders post-haste. We must be clear what happened to them in the waterways and Lephalia. Vecnios, you've always given me the courage to go on. I'd like you to be present, too.
Certainly.
Your response warms my heart. Then, I suppose I must make the appropriate preparations. Of course, we must convince them at any cost. Arachnios, I have to get ready. Let's meet up here once everyone's set. Till then.
And now, lengthy cutscene. So much politicking. So much politicking. Oh, good, it's early in the day. If we can get through the cutscene, the lengthy quote-unquote cutscene before the start of next day, well, that'll be fun. Because we've reached, after this cutscene, yet another wait an in-game day. Which, again, hasn't really been a thing since Treasures of Uttert Gone. Like, all of Wings of the Goddess did not have these. Well, they did have some in-game day waits, but those were mostly split up by during the nation story. So you couldn't do 3, then 3, then 3, then 3. So they were really kind of inconsequential and really weren't needed. Who does that upstart think she is? Summoning the heads of the 12 orders just to make us wait.
Indubitably woobity. We've got more pressing matters to deal with than the whims of some young girl. It's all because Melvin had to kick the bucketaru. I can't believe we leaders have been reduced to mere papal shuffle wafflers. Thanks to his reckless antics, colonization's pragmatically been slowed to a haltaru. If only he kept his nose stuck in the books, then we wouldn't be stuck in this bureaucratic quagmire. Could you please be a little more considerate of the deceased? I was just saying what everyone was thinking. I don't see the harm in that. Plus, it's not like he's gonna rise from the grave to seek revenge because I hurt Haru his feelings posthumously. My apologies, everyone. I did not expect it to take so long.
I hope you do not intend to start a meeting on such a short a notice as you sent out those summons. Some of us have still yet to arrive.
I have something that simply cannot wait. Please, the future of Adeline lies in the balance.
The future of Adeline, you say? I was under the impression you were investigating what took place in the waterways.
I was. Well, thank the goddess that we dropped everything so his royal Runtaru could waste our time with information on Watergate. Didn't you know Reginald and Emicharu are already flexing their metal Mitaru to come up with a solution for that? Anyway, on to something of substance-wubstance. Condition missions when the hinterland are growing worse by the day. Heretofore unseen creatures have been brazenly appearing before Coalition staff, even at high noon.
Yeah? That's tied to this.
Livestock go missing after fences erected to protect them miraculously break. Whole fields of crops are supposedly withering over Naitaru. Like rats from a sinking ship, the smaller beasts of the forest trample-wample each other in an effort to take refuge on the coast. Just what are they fleeing from?
Fleeing from?
Could they possibly have something to do with the recent spate of land shivers?
What an utterly terrifying prospect that is.
As the person in charge of the colonization initiative, these issues seem much more pressing than a little underground mishap. Stay your peace, Australia, but make it snappy.
Then allow me to get right to the point. The tunnel collapse in the waterways and subsequent change in the water flow down there was not the result of a land shiver.
What sort of ridiculousness are you hinting at?
Care to elaborate for us, Iki? The waterways were attacked by a living person. Why? To replace the geomancy within them. The divine magic that once safeguarded the area has been supplanted by evil sorcery.
You mean that someone annulled the only entity keeping us from certain death?
There's no need for theatrics, Hildebert. Please, just calm down.
Theatrics? The last bulwark against the overpowering thaumaturgical forces slobbering at our gates just fell, and you accuse me of theatrics! Iki says that the Ergisade has been supplanted by another form of magic, meaning that it's banished completely. For all intents and purposes, we've reverted to the age of the Great Expedition. The curse of the Founder King shall descend upon Adeline once more. Our thriving society will be utterly ruined. If only we'd not begun raping the land by trying to colonize it.
I scoff at your general direction, Hildebert. If we had a pinch of ballad for every hole in your logic, we could build a new waterway out of solid gold. Besides, who cares if some musty superstitions no longer sealed away? I know I'm not afraid of any evil spiritaru. Even if I were, you could simply deploy your vast Taru army of Weatherspoon exorcists and hocus pocus it away. You could even hold a grand-scale Wake of the Lilies and Curry-Wurry Pioneer support as well. Hey, how about you chantaruing up a ritualistic phrase like the power of Altana compels you to get people more involved? Yes, and all of the Ministry of Commerce sponsor vendors. We'll be swimming in ballad.
You know not of what you speak, Cheddar Mataru.
At least I know what I ate this morning, you old fartado.
Calling our founder an evil spirit to hocus pocus away is an affront to our whole civilization.
Pardon my naivete. I didn't realize I had free reign to curse worse my own people as long as I founded their home millennia ago. Even the village idiot Taru knows that someone who harms the entire city could only be considered evil.
I beg you, Do not let your emotions get the better of you. There's something that I must say.
World-shattering news, everyone! Reginald and I just arrived from surveying the damage in the Rallo waterways and made a startling discovery-wubbery. Those walls didn't come crumbling down because of a land shiver. You mean to take a Citauro for this? They fell at the hands of a living being. Isn't that the most shocking walking news of your lives?
We already...
Apparently not. But why? I'm positively befuddled-wuddled.
Because Iki just got done telling us the exact same thing. You were close, though.
Huh? But only close contours on the dot and hand grenades. How about this juicy-wussy piece of intelligence, then? The explosive was so ancient, as far as I can tell. The only person who'd have the knowledge to build it is Melvin.
What did you say?
I said the design was ancient Tauro. In other words, really, really old.
No, not that part. The part where you implied Melvin built it.
Ah, yes. The distinguishing characteristic was the fuse. From what I gleaned, it looked as if one could set the time at which the device detonatos. The technology employed dates back to the Great War that ravaged long ago. I remember showing him a diagram of it in his notebook. And the remains of this one match it completely. As I've never seen one in these lands before, I postulated that Melvin was intimately acquainted with its workings. But this doesn't come as a surprise either, does it? You people are no fun one at all.
What was that?
What do you suppose this means for us? Sorry to barge in on your tippity-tappity secret conversation, but isn't there something off about all of this?
What would a lowly servant know of critical analysis? It's hardly your place to
I know we all know that Melvin's gone to the big treasure in the sky. But if that's true, how could he have made the bomb to go boom boom? I think it's downright mean and rude to frame someone when he can't defend himself. Wait a second. I never said anything about him being a culpritado. Besides, trying to think. My muse has inspired me. I know who did it. Now you listen here, you. Wait, you know who did it? Mastaro here. Please, humor us. Okay, the culvert is...
Could be any one of them, to be honest. And it's gonna kick us out of the cutscene right here, is it?
I can't. A topic we'll talk about another time. Being in front of people's giving me a case of the tummy to the worm. I need some fresh air. Or maybe some dessert? I could really go for something sweet after using all that brain power. Why is everyone so quiet? Or a better question, is Melvin really dead? Did you search every bitty nook and cranny in his body to make sure? Aye, Familia, the little sleuth of Adeline.
will answer all your inquiring minds wish. Oh no! She's Proto-Hildebrand! this is not what I expected. And that's the name of the percolator! She even has the mispronunciation of words and everything. Oh. Which is, wait for it, Melvin, his crime being too handsome. His chiseled jaw and burning passion for life are enough to make any woman die of longing. Familla. Ah, yes. Death, the savior of us all. Release from constant suffering. I can barely contain myself, all the fun we're gonna have together. Something's not right with her. Something has gone horribly wrong. Arachnios, you don't think this means? I've had it up to here with your nonsensical japes. This is not a schoolyard, but a seat of government. If you're unwilling to contribute to discourse, then remove. I don't think I'm finished yet, Gramps. In fact, I'm just getting started. Why don't you take a seat? This is the part where things really heat up. Hildebert! That's Condenser, my dear Avenger. I'd like nothing more than to move toward the canto at this point, but I fear we've already reached the coda. Whatever do you mean? You're all unbearable idiots. Talk about melodrama. You'll constantly squabble over the most trivial of things. And everyone's content to play King Diddley of the squat islets. When there's this whole inner struggle over colonization, to be for it or against it. It's only a dumb question when nothing ever gets accomplished. The 12 orders? More like the 12 disorders. At best, you're a disease that's slowly killing this nation. Whoopsie! Maybe I got a bit out of character. Oh well. You're all bound to find out eventually. Let's lift the curtain of this climax! A Harlequin. What the? Familiar.
Greetings, leaders of the 12 orders. My name is Bellamore,
But you may know me by other fantastical names as the Deathborn Soul.
The Deathborn what? Zal? Sounds like a ridiculous villain made up by a Gulka youngling wungling.
However, I'm playing only a supporting role. Let's all give a standing ovation to the anti-hero of this moving tragedy. But how? A demon in this castle? What's the city coming to? Melvin! I assume all of you are present? Well, hello there, Acelia. How nice to know that you made it back in one piece. But seems you've not been made completely honest with them. Do they understand the extent of the horrors that took place in that village deep within the jungle? Do they understand to the extent which a friend of yours was involved? Do they understand what you exactly did to me?
You're one to talk.
I advise you to not employ intellectually dishonest tactics here. They'd only serve to further tighten the noose around your neck. The more you try to conceal facts, the more seeds of curiosity you sow. Eventually those seeds will sprout and bear fruit of dissent. You'd best repent before you're forced to eat the ire of every other leader here. Although it pains me to say so, I've preparations which I must attend. Fare thee well, and may you all be able to play nice for a tad bit longer.
That was a rather staccato intermezzo. I guess I should take a bow and head off stage as well. I wouldn't want to leave you thinking I'm a mere extra in this production, though. Therefore, why don't I give you something to remember me by? Ah, yes, that reminds me. I heard something about, what was this called again? Curse of the Founder King. Apparently all your ancestors who ignored your king's dying words met with unfortunate ends. Now that's the kind of story that jingles my bells.
You are wanton degenerate if that brings you any sort of joy.
In due time, you'll be belly-hooing like colonization was given the boot. What in the farce is this? Nothing different Taru about all. No need to rush. I said in due time, remember? Maybe the dress rehearsal's already begun in some places. The figurative big top that once protected you is no more. You're as naked as the day your people set foot upon these shores. Now that you're exposed to the elements, there's nothing to stop my little spell from raining down upon you. Its droplets will turn into buckets and then to torrents, leaving everyone you've ever held dear to drown. I can already hear your screams of terror. They're like an encore call to my ears. Of course, you won't enjoy it nearly as much as I will. That's my cue. Time to exit stage right. There is a way for you to remove the curse, though. I'd be more than happy to divulge it, if you can find me. Now, to begin this game of hide and seek, ready or not, here I go! Well.
Familiar? Familiar! Arciela? I don't know what to do, Rachnios. Familiar's not opening her eyes.
Just what have the peacekeepers been doing this whole time anyway? Spit shining the butados. And Icky, how could you let that magic force veiling the city get destroyed? Incommentarus, the both of you. Why do we even suffer your presence in these discussions?
Are you trying to start something, furball? All you do is put others down to build yourself up. You don't give a damn about the city's policies unless they make you valid.
What a weak argumentado by an equally weak mind. I'm just telling it like it is. Face the truth and stop getting your britches up in a bundle over it.
Relax and take a deep breath, both of you.
How are we supposed to be relaxed? Did you not see that phantasm? Some good that stupid your stupid thing is. And when the goddess's name was Melvin talking about Arciela.
Indeed. We'd be most appreciative if you would tell us the truth. Though, I'm certain the whole thing is a plot by the pro-colonization faction to sully the integrity of those who wish to uphold the Founder King's wishes.
If you keep proposing ridiculous theories like that, Hildebert, I might actually start believing Claro Machado's claim that you're senile.
No one asked for your opinion, conspirator. That rotten rhetoric your kind spews is nothing but breeds lies and deception. Such was made all no more apparent now that we know Melvin lives. Surely my theory is far less absurd than the blatant falsehoods that girl has been feeding us.
Enough already! Do none of you realize what happened right in front of you? Be adults and act your age for once! Who cares about your stance in the colonization movement? This is much bigger than that! Now's the time to put aside our differences for the good of the nation! Yet all you can do is sling mud at each other like prehistoric brutes! Look at the big picture! What is the purpose of our 12 orders? I've always thought it was to protect the people, but apparently you think it's to grab more power for yourselves. Completely ignore the blight of the jungle, pawning off its responsibility on the pioneers. You each take credit for the movement's victories and blame each other for its failures. You can't take any more than this useless bickering. Ruin is staring us right in the face, yet you're only looking for personal gain. Frankly, it's pathetic.
Shut your damned mouth, wench. What would a mere child know of governing a city-state? It takes more than lofty ideals and good intentions to keep a nation functioning. I've remained silent about your improper behavior in defense to the Chancellor. I see little reason to do so if this is how you plan to act in his stead. You think your royal lineage grants you innate asylum from our skepticism? Anyone with have a head on their shoulders would doubt the veracity of the claims you make. A talking dragon? A clandestine village within the Shadow Mountain of Camia? Fie, I say.
My sentimentados, exactly. I don't know how you're able to win Iki's respect, but even I doubt half the people here believe your cockamamie stories. However, what Felvin said is a much more crucial subject. What do you think he needs to make preparations for? How do you manage to fake his own death? Can you imagine go that extreme at Taru just for a prank? Don't you mean to scare at me with that dirty look? What? What are you doing, you idiot, Taru? Out of my way. He's not breathing. You're joking, Ataru, right? I wish I were. No, you can't be serious, Marius.
First the phantasm appears in the castle. Now Claudomedo inexplicably collapses. And let's not forget about Melvin's return from the dead. All of this is entirely your doing. I can see why you're sometimes called a wild-born witch. You definitely seem to care more about the jungle than the sacred city. Exactly what is your plan in engendering the downfall of our society, you evil enchantress?
Stop right there, you white whiskers. What is this caterwauling for? You're a grown elven. Don't get so hard onto the collar that just because a maiden got caught up in the moment. It's not like you're some kind of death gaze or anything. There's no way she could send him a railing from a single look. And you, Asiala, there's usually a time and place for everything, but not for that phrasing.
Exactly. Should a riot have started, it would have all been your fault.
Stuff it, Gratzig. Don't add fuel to the fire.
I officially declare the meeting adjourned. Return to your respective orders and take stock of the situation there.
Asiela, I assume you erupted like that because you've been through so much recently. Perhaps a rest would do you some good.
What a stressful day. Rachnios, you're probably due for a cat nap too.
I suppose. Now we have to wait until the next in-game day, which is 8 hours hence. So right, that one's been done. I'm just looking at what side missions we can do in the meantime. That requires Destiny's device, which is going to be some rune fencer specific things to do. Specifically, I believe we're going to be dealing with, yes, the coat. Specifically getting the, I believe it's, yes, the relic coat. No, artifact coat. Because it's artifact, relic, and Empyrean. There we go. Your path has been a long and hard, just as I warned you a long time ago it would be. Yet look at how far you've come in spite of it all. Now that you've soared to the heights I predicted you would, it is time for you to embark on your final test. Or it would be if not for a certain setback set before us. We have not held the ultimate trial for rune fencers since the fatal accident 2 years ago. As you can imagine, I have a favor to ask of you regarding this. I'm fully aware of my impertinence, but this requires a skill that only someone of your caliber and experience possesses. Would you please get the bottom of why the trial went up, bottom up? It would be my pleasure. Oh, thank you so ever much. I hope that one of these days I can salvage what little remains of your shipwrecked image of me. Before you begin your fact-finding mission, I must impart you an object of epiditic import. This is a runic kingraver. A picturesque device that can both record pictures and project them from runestones. It's the same type of contraption a researcher from the Inventors Guild used to record events of that trial 2 years prior. By all accounts, it was still accounted for somewhere in the Inventors Coalition. I need you to review their footage and judge whether or not the current trial is appropriate for rune fencers to undertake. Speak to Gadu, who has been instructed to divulge all the necessary information. Simply inquire about clumps of Edlin kelp. He'll understand what you mean.
So off to the Inventors Coalition we go. I doubt very much we're going to get this particular quest line done. After all, we only need it to to tide us over until just after midnight in game. Make sure he's not one of... There he is. Gedoo. Innovations that are fun for the whole family, safe and reliable services, and not a hint of blood money anywhere. That's the Inventors Coalition in a nutshell. Are you... How about that Adelinian kelp? Oh, well. So you're the guy. What do you want to know about the incident 2 years ago? Is the runestone still there? You mean the one that recorded the events that day? I can't imagine it's not, but I'll have to check. Just wait a second. We've got ponds and ponds of them strewn over the shelf, so it's going to take some time to find the right one. Okay, what are the trial objectives? It didn't sound like there was that much to it. All you have to do is get a hold of a vial of vivid rainbow extract, which is used for dyeing clothing. If you want, I can tell you how to get one. First, you need to procure Yaze wildflower petal in Yal's hunting grounds. Then, you tramp over to Marjami Ravine and set the whole river there to boiling. Now, I'm no rune fencer, but I'm pretty sure Ignis would be the right rune to use if you had a grudge against chilly water. Damn me and my loose lips. Well, there's not much more I can do now that the cat's out of the bag. I've been struck with a bout of lethargy as of late, but if you were nice enough to bring me that dye, then the spring might come back into my step and I get looking for that runestone with you-know-what on it. We needed that dye to color some armor that came in, but we haven't any in stock since the incident. No rune fencers want to go out and get any for us, which I understand. Anyway, just think of it as collateral or quid pro quo or whatnot. Enjoy your jungle jaunt now. So the hunting ground, and specifically we need to go to K7. It actually doesn't say what the closest waypoint is. So I guess we're gonna just have to teleport and hope that this one's close enough. We're at we're at I-8. That's pretty close. Because K7 is... Ah, 7's here. It's literally to the north and 2 to the right. If we head north and to the east, we should be able to hit it. And successfully avoid any reeves, if I'm correct. Specifically because the hunting grounds do tend to, out of all of the areas, tends to be a little easy to cut up. It's along the shores. That's a logging point. Okay, doesn't matter which way we go, because both of them lead directly to possibly what's the correct point. There it is. If we just head south, we'll hit one of 2 locations. Yep, that reeve is in fact up and online. Well, we did kind of expect that, to be honest. Livolio, take us away. Let's go to Eastern Adlin. And it's east of Bivouac 2 in the drifts. No, it's the ravine. Bivouac 2. Ah, there it is. Toad, don't you dare get too close to me. That toad was looking at me strange. Cast 3 Ignis.
You place the flowers in the ignis-boiled waters of the river. It seems as though the petal will not be ready for some time. A rune stone lays half buried in the riverbank. Yes, let us play these memories.
Good job. Now all we have to do is wait Taru. Good job. More like, you're amazing. I swoon for you if I weren't your sister Taru. This is an infinitesimally small fraction of the Zerk's puissance. There you go with your unfounded bravado, Wado. You know very well that the Zerk can't tell a lie. Granted, he may not have thought to use Ignis without your kind Hintaru. But you know what they say. All's well that ends well. The Zerk will mature with an atrocity scarce seen and become such an accomplished rune fencer that he'll make inroads twice as deep with your research. If you say so. I can't say that I expect Taru much, but I'll be waiting for you. How dare you question the Zerk's destiny? Ever since colonization Weishen recommenced, he's been extra diligent with his studies to prepare for the day he attains runic omnipotence. I understand you're excited, Haru, but I don't want you to do anything that could get you hurt. I don't mind you becoming a rune fencer and all, but no undertaking trials, you hear, and no going outside Adeline unless I'm... The Zerg tires of your incessant Taru nagging. He rises to the highest of runic heights and is preordained, and there's naught you can do to stop it, dummy. Hey, wait. What a foolhardy Squire Taru. It means too dangerous for you to be running off by yourself. Get back here this instant, Taru! The die's ready!
You may use the Runic Kingraver 2 more times. Well, I attracted that Jaggy. Foolish fish. Now where's my waypoint at? Oh, there it is. In the green, it kind of blended in for me. It's just about after midnight. Gadoo, now what do you have to say? Innovations are fun for the whole family. Safe and reliable services out. Oh, could that vial of Ravid rainbow extract I asked you to get? I knew I could count on you. As proof of my trust, I shook off my case of lethargy a bit early and found the runestone you wanted. Care to take a look? Here, have at it then. You'll have to view it here, though. No one's allowed to take this off the premises.
Zack's inner demons tell him he's going the right Haru way. I'm not so sure. We're deep weeping the forent the Hentanel, you know? That's why the Zerg suggests exercising caution. Having the Pioneers Coalition strike this far into the jungle wongle, so there's no telling what... Zerko! Look out! Something's there! Huh? Gah! What a waneful netherworld spawn is that? Oh no, it's coming this way! Maniacal masters, what the... Zack, oh, I'm begging you, get out of here. You slimy sea bastard! Yeah! Yeah! Zack, oh. Promise me one thing. Concentrate. Must liberate Mako Lulu from the clutches of evil. Promise me you won't blame yourself, please. Stop. Don't do this to me. Don't make me do this. Stop. It's not your fault, Aru. No.
We may use it one more time. And we can now resume the story from here until the end of the chapter. It is predominantly cutscenes except for one quest right near the end. Now, zoning was not required, but we had to do things anyway.
Mistress Asiela refuses to take any of our meals. No matter what tactics we employ, we simply cannot make her leave her chambers. I fear perhaps the best course of action is to simply leave her be.
Ah.
Master Ignis? Agnios, give heirloom necklace.
Give back the necklace?
Yes, must have. Please. Oh, soft eyes. That round figure. Those wrestling leaves. He really is cuteness incarnate. Look at as woefully wretched as ever, I see.
Is there something you wanted to discuss?
Not with a maggot like you. Heard about the princess, and I think it's plain pathetic. Where did the dignity and perseverance she showed at Camere Drifts go? The Arciella should know by now that life isn't all giggles and sunshine. She needs to treat this as a test of will. However, I understand how her emotions could get the best of her after all she's been through. She is young and a passionate idealist, yet has been ostracized from the council members. All the while, misfortune bombards her homeland in every direction. That's enough to take the wind out of anyone's sails. And that's where you might as well come in. Stop being a chigo on the wall and actually do some good for once. Show her that she's not alone in this chaos. Make her heart burn with fervor once more. That task will be a daunting one to complete, considering her current mental state and that I could not. Cut me some slack. I knew you were daft, but now I have to question whether or not you were ever sentient. Let me spell it out for you. Give Arciella, are you following me? Something she likes. Talking you always leaves me drained. I'll be going before I catch whatever form of stupidity inflicts you.
Now, specifically, we were told to give the necklace that we got a bit back. Give it back. Now, we will be receiving it, or any other one, back upgraded later down the line.
Yes, this is Arciella's grace. Does look like the keepsake they requested.
And now we have the question, what would raise her spirits? What would raise her spirits? To be honest, that is a very difficult question, is it not? Well, when we're in doubt, whenever we're in doubt of anything involving Arciella, we go to the one place she spends a lot of time. To the library. Because you can learn a lot of things if you have a library card. Regardless, we need to speak to... Where are they? Are they... Ah, there you are. Andrienne.
Good tidings to you, Arachnios. What knowledge do you seek of our humble archives of this day? Oh, wish to know if the princess has spent an inordinate amount of time combing through the passages of a particular tome? Just to be sure, are you referring to something other than a historical text, correct?
Of course.
I see. Aha! I know exactly the book. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. I do remember I hastily shoved this one into a completely separate shelf once, so it must be a guilty pleasure of hers.
Oh yes, that is the book that was put sideways onto a shelf that one time. That I conveniently pointed out was an unusual book in an unusual place and sitting on top of other books.
Let me worry about the whole checkout process. You go ahead to Arcilia. Please give the princess my regards.
The Suffering Sacrifarius. This sounds like something we should at least inquire of. Right, the +2 hands. There it is. It's a definitive cookbook for a young woman who exhibits a soft spot for sweets. It is a cookbook for sweets. She does have, I believe, a sweet tooth. And that would make sense. Though she probably hasn't had any time to devote to baking.
Mistress Arcelia has requested an audience with you. I wish you all the best.
Are you alright?
The council dispersed. Reports began flooding in. Each detailed how certain people involved with the 12 orders had met with some grave misfortune. Just like that lunatic jester predicted. Worst of all, Diana was one of them. I made a promise when the world was resurrected I wouldn't cry again. I've already broken it. Sorry. I just couldn't take it anymore. Shock was too much for someone as weak as me. I thought I knew the jungle inside and out, but I didn't know a single thing about it. I can't even tell good from evil anymore. Because there's evil in me. I said some horrible things at the assembly, but they weren't just a way of calling attention to any problem. I truly meant them. All my life, called me a witch behind my back. Never felt it. Until now. Sprites risked their lives for me, but to tell you the truth, it was all in vain. I'm not worth protecting. Because of me, Camilla. Agnios, it's only a matter of time for you to fall to my curse. Get away from me while you still can.
You're not. This isn't the Arcelia I know.
Yes, I am. None of this would have happened if I was stronger.
You did the best you could.
That's the thing, I didn't. All I did was foul things up.
You're not alone in this.
But if you stick by me, you'll surely...
Nothing will happen to me.
How can you be so sure?
Because I think we're all weak.
I know I said that in Mount Camille, but... I appreciate your kind words, but still, I can't help but think that if only... If I died in the jungle back then... Arachnios?
Never.
Say that again. What was I thinking? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
It's time to settle the score.
How can we believe anything that Raven Jester said? Even if you find him, he might not help at all.
Oh. Doing nothing will help us even less.
I guess you're right.
Plus, it's obvious that thing's involved with Melvin somehow. We're the only ones we can trust now. The only ones who can do anything about this.
I'm gonna undo that curse.
I can't argue with that. Court's Avenger, everyone who succumbed to the curse exhibited the exact same inexplicable symptoms. Though it looks like they're dead at first glance, the Order of Station speculates that their souls have been removed. Well, of course she didn't mention a time frame, but I can't imagine people would last long in that condition. We have to release Adeline from this terror as soon as possible. We've not a minute to spare. In the name of all we hold dear, I'll leave my doubts behind and dive headfirst into the heart of darkness. Will you take the plunge with me?
That's the spirit.
Great. A gift? Oh, you. Oh, you. Of all the things to give me, you pick this? You're simply too good to me. Ragnos, you're truly an extraordinary person. First I thought it'd be funny if our paths crossed once more. I had no idea we'd be close at all. Sorry if that sounded cold. It's just I'd never been able to expect much from anyone before. That's why I was glad I could see you again at the banquet. Once we were reunited there, I thought that just maybe the wheels of something great had been set in motion. I would have been more acknowledging if it weren't in front of 11 of the most important figures in the city. Now, I feel comfortable enough to say, thanks for all you've done for me. I'm done living in fear of what could have been. Ignis. Rala. Seplik. Gyar. Balmor. There. Ignis! Still breathing. Oh, goodness gracious, he always pushes himself too hard. I know my brother could barely get across what he wanted, but it sounds like Balmor should be at the Founders King's tomb with him Rala Waterways. Let's go and show him that whoever laughs last laughs loudest.
You got it. See, and the fastest way to do that is Eastern Adeline. The traditional entranceway we always go through. Very southeastern point. Gotcha. N5. No, N10. Is this really the closest one? And there is the only one entrance, so... Load up the trusts as usual, just in case. It's going to be really interesting taking these on without Uran. Or Monbro, but we'll be able to do Monbro at sooner rather than later. That bat is staring us down, something fierce. That bat was looking at us like, I dare you. Wrong direction? Huh? Okay. It appears those do not, in fact, intersect. Interesting. Plant passage slugs. See, and that's what confused me, is this here. Because this is on the map. This is a supposed exit to Eastern Adeline that players cannot use. Now, granted, there's other spots in the game where they've kind of listed similar... Not listed, but placed similar exits on the maps that they've used occasionally, and there's several still in the game. Best one of that is the Gugson Mines, which led to Movopolis, both old and new. I'm pretty sure Gungston always had the exit there, but it was blocked off and inaccessible until they decided to use it that was Chains. So until they decided to use it in Chains, it was quite literally just useless map exit. Wait, this is incorrect. This is incorrect. No, this is correct. There it is.
Well, there's no mistaking it. It's the Founder's King Sepulchre. What's this? I think Arthur seems reacting to something in the monument. To the monument in the center. Didn't expect you to get here so easily. I figured no one find me blending into the backdrop, but looks like you pulled back the drape on my ruse. Malamar. What's wrong, pretty princess? Come down with a terrible case of the mean face since we last met. Although I won't be reciting any paeans either, thanks to your arrival.
This wasn't in the script at all.
I made it so you'd have to struggle mildly through each act and then break a leg. Literally. I suppose you managed to get here because of that boy? Exactly. I'm not alone in this fight anymore, and that's how I know we'll beat you. My mistake. I typecast you as a delicate flower. But I see how well you auditioned for the role of stalwart crusader. Things are finally starting to get interesting. I've taken a liking to you two. Through the waterways have many interesting sights. I'd say this guy right here gets top bill. Once the forces here reverse completely, that's when the show will really start. What are you babbling about? Oh, never mind. Sometimes you just can't wait for opening night. You know what? The director never said I couldn't interact with the members of the audience. You don't mind joining me on stage for a bit, do you? That's decided. We'll simply have the best time ever. First glance, this looks like any old doll rummaged from some old musty and attic chest. But when I do this, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. What a twist! Now she's got a whole supporting cast. Aside from that, as an aside, you know that collecting statue parts has gotten pretty popular lately, right? The whole thing was my idea. What were they called again? Otherworldly skedaddles? I don't know. Making them was just a passing fancy. But let's relive those fond memories. Still, I don't want to bore myself to death waiting for you to slog through everything. I know. I'll pull some strength and make this one act long. On that note, let's end this game of hide and seek and embark on the scavenger hunt. Where'd they go? I had them possess a bunch of different monsters throughout the waterways. When you're done slaying beasts and getting pots, look for the Black Witherum to enter my theater of war. Then, once you've taken center stage, use a consummate simulacrum to find me. Enjoy the show, and don't let me down. Wait! It even has the Kefka laugh. Looks like we've got no choice but chasing after those simulacra. Let's go! Now, these simulacra. Now, they did reference the whole statue thing, which is entirely an endgame thing you do. There's a note here that the new moon bats and the pugils,
which thankfully are just right here, seem to have a higher drop rate. What does it mean by a higher drop rate? I don't know. Nope, did not drop from them. There's a shell. Hey, there it goes. And there we go. Yoggle conveyor and B6. B6 is very far from here. That's basically the other end. That is quite literally on the other end. Holy crap. Holy crap. And again, like the last major fight we had, I believe, this is going to be another fight with an NPC around. That's going to be Arcelia, of course. Arcelia. And if she dies, it's over. And it seems like there will be one enemy in particular that will always target Arcelia. Right. Let's go all the way around. Because there's no such thing as direct connections in this particular game. Wrong direction again, because I walked right past it. I'm on autopilot. Reading the wiki at the same time as I'm trying to navigate. As always with Final Fantasy XI, that's probably the best way to handle it. I'd also posit a theory that the other exit to Eastern Adeline, this was probably one of the first levels they designed, probably even before Adeline itself got made. Hence why it connects between the two. And Adeline was probably one city at the time one map at the time. Or maybe they did decide early to split it in half. But regardless, my theory is that that was always supposed to be a second exit that people could use. But when they built the upper city, and they designed it, they just couldn't find a place to stick it, realistically. And so it exists down here as a relic of an earlier design ethos. After all three of Western Adelan's exits do work and are functioning exits. Like, they are permanent exits. Like, all those Western Adelan exits, they all work. So again, my theory is the waterways were built first, probably before Eastern Adelan was. So they planned on it having, you know, all the exits. It just kind of failed to. Question is, okay, that's also a non-functioning door, as the waterways are full of, and we're about ready to lose our invisibility. We've got less than 2 minutes on that. It just means we've got to sneak through these dynamites while we can. Once we get down to the seconds, that's when things are going to get a bit funky. I think we've successfully made it to the safe zone. Of course. There's the sluice gate right here. Haha! That dynamite that was literally right next to us didn't make any difference. Is this the right location? No. Of course it is not. It's not this B6, it's the other B6. Exactly what I was thinking it was. I thought I told it to reapply the sneak oil. I did tell it to reapply the sneak oil. It refused. Right, this game will do silly things like that and not re-up the timers like that. Because it's a rude little game sometimes. And just when we're approaching the spot where I figured we were going to leave it, just before Chapter 5.
There you are. And now we enter the Charlatan. Now, unlike most others, is it because I have trusts on me? What? The game is just not letting me in. That's weird. I'm wondering if Rala Waterways U is currently in use. That's gotta be it. Like, that section of the server is currently in use. Probably by people farming or doing something that involves Rala Waterways. What I think would be... Huh. Is that sortie? Oh, it's skirmishes. People might be doing skirmishes. Which really sucks, because I kind of... Oh, I think we got in. Yes! There was a skirmish underway, and we got in just between them. Now, like I said, there is absolutely no cutscene. We have to get everyone out as fast as possible. It's gonna be interesting, like I said, without our main healer. Where is Kirokiki? Shantoto. Throw it on Haseo. Burn enhancement, generally light, because I imagine they're evil, so I imagine dark, aligned. Come on. Okay. Throw down swordplay, and then meditate, and we go. We go, we ball. The vegecidal one's the one that's going to attack her specifically. Thus, it is the thing that needs to die now! Millennial. Millennial, why are you... Okay, it is in fact not targeting Arciela. That's good. Oh, and of course I'm stunned for the next few seconds. Of course, the next 40 seconds. Oh, come on. Let me go! Fiend! You fiend! I can't even tell them to engage. I've got less than 10 seconds. Here we go. Engage! That was highly concerning there for a moment once it was they were targeting Arciela. Especially considering Villanarial did not want to use... Why did you not want to use your Uriel Blade when everyone was around you? That was just stupid. Villanarial. Stuns me and then puts me and then shoves me away. And he surrenders at 20%. And Arciela, of course, is the one who got the last hit in. Haha! Thematic.
To think the great Bellamore, would be upstaged by two understudies. I won't sit back and let you poke holes in my plot! Wait.
My muse has struck! Who knew that this power was holding me back the whole time? Is this the true curse? Oh, Director, you're such a character.
Who are you talking about? Arciela, you're like a child who wanders into the middle of a production and distracts the audience with stupid questions. There's nothing more maddening than listening to someone ask a question they already know the answer to.
Why don't you answer for me? Hades. Wow. Let's give the inventor a round of applause for knowing the obvious. Hades is my master indeed.
It all makes sense now. See, not an ounce of surprise. Utterly boring. I think it's time I give this role the hook. But wait!
I know how to add some conflict to this otherwise stilted script. Yes, Bellamore, you're a dramatic genius who's ahead of his time. What's this? Is this it? Or maybe this? What in the name of... Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. And now for something completely different. Pain, pain, go away. Come again another day. And that's a wrap. What? It wouldn't be fun if I explained it, now would I? Let's just say I returned something to its rightful place. And all we can do is wait for time to tell. Anyway, my days as a member of this troop of terror are over. It was a pleasure doing battle with you, but from now on, I'll be watching this grand Guignol go up in flames from the gallery. What about removing the curse like you promised? Oh, yeah, I forgot the curse. I never said I'd remove it. How dare you! Why so serious? It's just a harmless jape. Of course I'll help you out. After all, the higher you prop them up, the harder they fall. If I robbed the people of hope, no one would despair when the world comes crashing down. Leave them some scraps of hope, however, and the populace fights over them like mongrels. I can hardly contain myself thinking of what face you'll make when you hear this. But listen carefully. I only give stage directions once. To remove the curse, you'll have to dethrone Hades. Defeat Hades? Yes! To think that if you beat out all the other contestants for that coveted part, you must be so proud. But will our two intrepid explorers be able to overthrow the unhallowed king? Will someone else steal their limelight before they arrive at the Rakaznar Tortoise? I know I'll have a lorgnette squished to my face in anticipation. Rakaznar Tortoise. That's a tower within the deepest part of what you call the Serpentine Labyrinth. It's there the master resides. Those who heeded his call and swore allegiance to his cause will soon awaken. The stage is set, and the crowd is gathered. If you're gonna die, might as well make a spectacle of it. I know I'll shiver with joy at every cry of pain and crunch of bone. However, if you do manage to triumph, I'll be nothing short of a Deus Ex Machina. Either way, it should be a performance of a lifetime. I can't wait to see how it plays out. Enjoy your intermission while it lasts. We'll have to take down Melvin. Or should I say Hades? Whichever it is, how can we succeed when even the Founder King failed? With teamwork, that's how. You're right. We can't give up. You've always been there to point me in the right direction. I promised I'd stop brooding, and it's high time to practice what I preached. That subterranean sovereign will want to seal himself away when we're through with him. Now we have probably the most interesting thing. Because every other time we've been given an option of an accessory, a ring, generally a ring, in a storyline, there's been a way of exchanging it if you change your mind later down the road. This is the one exception. There is currently no known way to change your chosen +1 necklace option. So think carefully, as they've added some very nice things to them. For example, you have Adeline's, well, we'll show you in-game, rather than just read them off. You were nice enough to return this to us while I was up in the room wallowing in self-pity. You remember it, don't you? Hello, brimming with power. You were not. Holy crap! I don't know why that one triggered my throat to cough. Holy crap! Even I can see that, or sense it at least. A force unlike anything I have felt before now resides within the necklace. I'm sure its new properties will prove more useful in our upcoming battle, and there's no one else more deserving of its enhanced facets than you. I beg of you, take it. Okay. Adeline's Refuge +1. It previously just had, I believe... That's a good question. What did it just have? It just had the re-raise on it. Now, it has damage taken -8%. That's pretty good. Generally, you'd want that if you're doing tank damage, because you're going to be taking less damage. Resolve +1. Previously, it just had a regain of 30. Now, it has a weapon skill damage of +25%, which is a good thing for most cases. I mean, 25% damage on your weapon skills is pretty significant. And RCL is Grace, which had previously the regen and refresh, I believe. And now has a cure potency of 25% and a magic damage bonus of 80. Also pretty good. Considering what I tend to run, and considering I'm decently well geared as far as damage resistances go and such, it's going to be, for me, specifically for the weapon damage skill. You know what? That auto re-raise. That 8% plus the auto re-raise, all specifically when applied to Reeves. I'm hoping it applies to not cool fights, but I'll find out shortly. Ragnos, thank you for taking care of Ella. Save Adeline. Land. Hades. The time is upon us. August, you misguided half-wit. Soon everything you struggled so long and hard to protect. Everyone whose soul has been consumed by darkness, I will free from the shackles of fate. And how will I achieve this feat? Why, through death, of course.
And of course, he possesses the body of Melvin. And that, folks, is an appropriate spot, I think, to leave it. Yes, it is a little early. It's only been almost 3 hours. But considering we would have to wait for another in-game day, and considering it just turned midnight, we would be going for God knows how much longer. Just to get started on Chapter 5, which, like I said, is only 15 quests, and theoretically, let me reload up the tab. It's 4 cutscenes, burning circle, a cutscene, quest cutscene, cutscene, burning circle, cutscene, 2 burning circles, cutscene, and cutscene finale. So, 4 burning circles, 1 quest, and 11 cutscenes. I think we can handle that Saturday. Now, Saturday might start early. It entirely depends on me and how I'm feeling and how things are going. Saturdays often involve some type of a nap. I'm gonna be honest. I'm at the age when a nap is a nice thing to do, and Saturdays are just convenient times to do it. Unless I need to get work done around the house, which technically needs to happen anyway. But that might wait till Sunday. But anyway, enough about that. We'll see everybody Friday for, I believe it's Chains of Fate? What's the demo? I didn't grab the thumb for it. Chains of Freedom. The demo for Chains of Freedom. That's the one. That's the one. We'll see everybody Friday for that. And then, Saturday, more Final Fantasy XI, unless I post otherwise, which we should be fine for. Should. We'll see you all next time.